Are the Cubs fishing in Miami for starting pitching? It's the most important quantity right now around the game. And the Cubs came into the Cardinal series, lost the first two games, felt like they were really kind of sinking back. And then all of a sudden, starting pitching took over. Matthew Boyd, Shota Imanaga, just like I told you guys. And the Cubs are back on track. But are they going to add pitching? The Athletic seems to think so. We're going to get into the two names that keep popping up around this trade rumor. Also, Cardinals fans, hey, thank you guys for being here. I want to ask all you Cubs fans to like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell, share with your Cubs friends. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I ask you guys to do that every day. Cardinals fans, hey, I know you're frustrated. I saw your guy, our old guy, Willson Contreras at the end of the game. And honestly, who wouldn't be that upset if you went back-to-back games with no runs? It's a shame to see. Go Cubs! Hey, everybody, Mick Gillespie. Welcome to the channel, the Cubs baseball channel. We get on here every day and we talk about the Cubs, and there's a lot to talk about right now after a couple big wins. But first, I want to start with the trade rumors because I really feel like something is brewing, and who knows? I mean, maybe by the time some of you guys see this, something will have happened. Jackson Wiggins, who is one of the Cubs' top prospects and probably a pitcher that's going in any big deal that the Cubs made, was scheduled to pitch last night, and then all of a sudden they pulled him out and he's not injured. So sometimes you do that because you're just kind of waiting to see what happens. Sometimes you're maybe giving a guy a rest. Maybe you're getting him lined up for the futures game. Who knows? But it was odd when he was scheduled to pitch, and then they moved him out. And it's odd because you know that if these teams like the Marlins make a blockbuster deal with the Cubs, it's a guy like Jackson that the Cubs are going to have to give up. Because if you give up pitching, normally you want pitching back in return, right? So are the Cubs in Miami? Well, Ken Rosenthal, one of the most respected names in baseball, says that, that there's some talks right now between the Cubs and the Marlins about starting pitching. So let's start with this guy right here. Sandy Alcantara. He's a former Cy Young Award winner who has had a very tough season coming back from Tommy John surgery. Didn't pitch last year. Right now, his numbers are 4-8 record and a 6.69 ERA. These are a lot more respectable because we've been covering this since his name's been bandied around, and his earned run average for a while was at 9. And the reason why is he's actually pitched pretty good over his last 5 games, really in particular his last 4 games. He got things going against Colorado on June 3rd, and then since then he's been good. I mean, really, maybe he's kind of starting to feel himself again. Last start against the Braves, he got the win, 6 innings on the 22nd. He gave up 6 hits and 3 runs with 2 walks and 4 strikeouts, and he threw 95 pitches. The outing before that, he lost to the Phillies, but had 5 strikeouts and only gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings. So you're starting to see the reason why this guy is someone that you may want to take a chance on. And being a former Cy Young Award winner. Now, the thing that the Cubs would have to do if they got Alcantara is they're going to have to pay him, right? He's paid right now $34 million over the next 2 seasons with a $21 million club option for the 3rd year, right? So, well, if he gets back to Cy Young form, that may be not a bad deal. I mean, if you got the good Alcantara in the rotation, man, this could be a game changer for the Cubs, right? You're talking about slotting him in there with Shota Imanaga, Matthew Boyd. It pushes another kind of a weak starter out of the rotation, possibly into the bullpen. You know, who knows? We saw when Shota Imanaga came back that Michael Fulmer got designated for assignment. You know, the Cubs are and other teams around baseball constantly moving and matching and trying to figure out how to get all this to work. He's a guy that is intriguing because you're starting to see his upside go that direction again, like a stock. He's been really low and he's going to be really high. As a former Cy Young Award winner, I'm sure the Marlins are hoping that maybe he'll put in a couple more really good outings and his price will go up. That's a question that the Cubs front office is asking themselves right now. If we go blockbuster, if we give up some of our best talent to get this guy and we're locked in on him for the next 3 years or 2 plus an option, how's that going to work for us? Is he going to be the pitcher that he was? Was he going to be the first half guy, or is he going to turn it around? And it really looks like, I mean, it's only a 4-game sample size, but it looks like over the last 4 games, he's given you an indicator that he might be someone that you can count on. Now, the other guy that the Athletic mentioned was Edward Cabrera. And Edward Cabrera has been another very solid starter for the Marlins. Now, he's a right-hander, a big guy, 6'5", 215. He is, so far this season, in 13 starts, he's got a 2-2 record and a 3.78 ERA. Trending, in the right direction. Last few starts, he's done well. Really hasn't had those outings like Alcantara in the beginning of the season. And he's a lot more affordable for the Cubs, right? He's only going to earn $1.95 million this season, and he's got 3 years of arbitration ahead, So he's more of a fiscal responsible guy if the Cubs were going to make that move. He's like Alcantara, a right-hander, so you're talking about 2 guys that come in from the right side. I think that benefits the Cubs because I feel like they have enough lefties. It'd be nice to have somebody from the right side that would be shut down. I'm guessing that his price is probably going to be a little bit less, even though Alcantara struggled, just because the max, the ceiling for Alcantara, we know is amongst the best in baseball. So we'll see where it is. But the Cubs are actively involved in trade talks. Guys like Bruce Levine, who cover the team every day, are saying that he wouldn't be surprised if a deal's not made in the next week. Could that possibly happen? I think it could, and we're keeping a close eye on that right now as things go on. I think that the Diamondbacks are a little hesitant to make a move right now because I feel like with them, they think they're still in it, and they're a team that got hot a couple years ago and got to the World Series, right? Even without Corbin Burns, would they trade Eugenio Sanchez? Would they get rid of Merrill Kelly or Zach Gallen, right? And the question to me, I don't know. That's something that they're going to have to decide, and their fan base won't be happy if they start unloading guys like, Suarez. I was talking about Suarez, and if they do, then guess what? Fans aren't going to be too happy, but fiscally, these smaller market teams like the Marlins, like the Diamondbacks, have won World Series based off of trades like this. Cubs came into the game a couple of days ago really at a low spot. Pete Crow Armstrong made the mental mistake. They lost 8-7. Felt like on Tuesday night that the sky was falling. And I said, hey, look, it's a long season. Just relax. Let things happen. You got good pitching lined up the next 2 days. Split the series. And when you're on the road, if you get a series split, that's good, even if it's against your bitter rival. And after those games, you're going, man, what's going to happen? Well, Cubs came out, and the Cardinals scored 0 runs. And you felt like some of those home runs, like they're not even a good hitting team, but they were just pounding Ben Brown. And they lit up Jameson Taillon. Well, all of that came crashing down on them on Thursday afternoon and Wednesday night. Now, the thing that I hate is I hate talking bad about Willie because he was our catcher when we won the World Series. I've known him since he was a teenager in our system, and I do really like him. But what he did at the end of the game was one of the reasons that the Cubs reportedly got rid of him. He's just got this temper, right? And David Kaplan talked about hearing that he was breaking iPads in the clubhouse. And he was just acting furious all the time, and he just got a pitch came inside on him, grazed his finger. You would have thought it hit him in the helmet. He's out there screaming at Daniel Palencia. I thought Palencia handled it so well. Runners at first and second, tying run at the plate, and he just handles business. And he was fired up at the end of the game, and you could tell that the Cardinals are sick and tired of dealing with Willie because the way they acted. The guy's on second base and he's screaming and he's giving them the, hey, calm down. And then at the end of the game, some of his own teammates are kind of lingering around, and you can almost read their lips going, yeah, man, everything's cool here, right? Baseball isn't like it used to be, where, back like 25 years ago, you might have gotten into a brawl over that 30 years ago. Now everybody's friends. These guys all played in, different leagues growing up, and they all know each other. It's a different era. And for Willie, I like it when he does well because I do pull for him, except when he's playing the Cubs. All the Cubs that won the World Series, I'm there. But, God, I was embarrassed for him watching that display at the end of the game. I'm still going to pull for him. That's not going to change my opinion. I told you, any of the guys that were on the 2016 team got me a ring. You guys love him. I love him. We're always going to support him. He is really a good dude, too. But that right there is I guess, kind of why the Cubs felt like it was time to move on from him. And it was just watching that wasn't a whole lot of fun. All right, on to Houston. Cubs will take on the Astros. We'll see Cam Smith, and the Astros fans will see Kyle Tucker. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is a measuring stick game. The Astros have actually been pretty good. They're going to, I'm sure, have a warm welcome for Tucker, and then they'll probably turn on him. I mean, that's what we would do, right? Now, we cheer for our guys from that 2016 team all the time. I don't know how Willie's reception is going to be, though, when he comes to town. Anyway, some momentum for the Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong doing it in the outfield with a great defense. I thought that the last couple games, this team kind of came together in a time when they really needed to. They've stretched the first place lead back out a little bit again, pushed the Cardinals off of them, and we'll see what happens. Don't be surprised if we don't have some kind of a trade, some kind of a move coming up, and it could be pretty significant as the Cubs try to continue to lead things and get to the postseason. All right, hey, thank all of you guys for being here, even you Cardinals fans. And I know you guys are hoping you get some runs in your next game, and I hope you don't. Anyway, like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell. Thanks for being here. We'll do it again tomorrow unless something breaks. And if there's a trade made, you can catch it right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Go Cubs.